But leading into the later part of that year, 99, the continued rise of The Rock, of course, and as Mike mentioned with the championship win on the August 23rd, 99 episode of Raw, the day after SummerSlam.
And Mick Foley did the clean job to Triple H, and I'll never forget, Triple H, was made because of Mick Foley.
That match between Mankind and Triple H, as Mike mentioned, made Triple H and established him as a main eventer and as a WWF champion.
I don't remember, many Raws, what happens on Raw that I see every week, but I remember being in New York and seeing that match and going, God, this is going to be awesome.
What made it for me, and I think everybody will agree in the room, seeing Hunter's reaction, genuine reaction, and seeing Chyna's reaction to him, to the pinfall going down. Chyna just gets this look on her face like, finally, my man did it, That's back when they were still together, before Stephanie got involved. WWF's head writers, Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara, announced, and actually I found out later that in an interview, Vince Russo called Vince McMahon at home or on the road while Vince is on the road in Europe or something, that Vince and Ed Ferrara were jumping to WCW to go save WCW. Because WCW was in the tank.
I've actually met him a couple times when I went to Nashville for TNA.
He is good people.
He is awesome.
He's an awesome guy. But his reign in WCW, which is the next topic, was nothing short of abysmal.
Was that the time where WCW changed its logo?
Yes.
Nah, that's when I stopped watching.
Okay, so you have no opinion on this.
I didn't really follow it just because I knew it just was unwatchable.
Two words. David Arquette.
Go ahead.
The company was not getting the exposure they needed. When David Arquette won the title, you had everybody looking at the USA Today. David Arquette with the World Heavyweight title, WCW champion.
Which helped that movie reach number 5 in the box.
Something like that, yeah.
He made WCW watchable. He let the young guys have a shot. He made Booker T, obviously.
No, I'm not saying he never did anything good. He did some great things.
No, I'm saying during the Russo era where they didn't micromanage him through Time Warner, Russo made entertaining TV, and that was his sole purpose. I think his storylines with Ed Ferrara and everything were funny. I think it went a little bit over the top a little bit because they didn't have, that umbrella to, say no.
Despite Russo's attempts, despite everybody's attempts, WCW could not be saved. And
he was going to be Stacy's baby's dad.
Yes, I know. And Stacy even talks about that to this day when she does interviews, and it's very sad to listen to. Early 2001. WCW is sold to the Vince McMahon and the WWF.
What about Sid's broken leg?
That's not one of the topics, but...
That was early 2001.
I understand that. YouTube that. Sid Vicious.
No, don't YouTube that. No.
It's cool.
It's the most hideous wrestling video that you ever see. It annoys me because I would like to go to YouTube and watch WWE bloopers, like watch wrestling bloopers, something like funny thing, or if people missed something. And every fucking reel
it's the Sid.
has the Sid break, and I cannot watch it.
And nobody at my high school thought it was real. We edited it on a videotape, and nobody thought it was real at all, and it was funny. And
dude,
at least it didn't break through the...
No. His ankle was a 140-degree angle.
Dude, here. His leg was like this, and his foot was like this.
Yeah.
That is not right.
No.
That is fucked.
You can't make an L with your foot.
Let's talk about the changing of the guard in the wrestling business, because for so long we had 2, and then we had even 3 major companies with national exposure. And for the period of about a year, from March of 2001 until June of 2002, it was just Vince. From the sale of WCW went into arguably the biggest fail, and that's a big word in it right now. Fail! I hate stupid. It's all in ODQ forms, by the way. I hate that. The invasion storyline.
The only reason it failed was because they didn't have big WCW stars at the time.
The leader of the WCW squad was Booker fucking T.
And then they signed Ric Flair months later.
After.
Scott Steiner.
After. Goldberg after.
Nash
after.
Hall.
After. Hogan after. The whole invasion storyline, I personally liked it, but I think it didn't do enough, and they didn't do it right. If they had done it right, they would have been talking about it to this day.
Right. Well, what I enjoyed about it was, it wasn't those big names because it was younger guys that we only really had a taste of in WCW. Your Palumbo, your Jindrak, your Helms, your
still around.
Tajiri. from ECW and
Super crazy.
your
Rhino.
Yeah, Rhino was brand new to me. At the time.
Sean O'Hare.
I loved Sean. I was pissed that he left to do kickboxing. I loved Sean O'Hare.
But see, here's the thing.
Yes.
If Hogan, Hall, and Nash,
And Flair.
and Sting and Scott Steiner came in with the rest of the crew, it would have added a nice mix. You could have had Hogan versus Austin at WrestleMania 18 and had a real build-up.
Which should have.
You had Hogan and Rock at 18.
Yes.
Okay, but Hogan Austin was the money.
The build-up was horrible, first of all.
Hogan Rock made money, but the build-up was horrible. If they did Hogan Austin, they would have drawn hundreds of millions more, in my opinion.
Oh, that would have been the biggest WrestleMania to date at the Skydome.
Hogan Rock for me was might be in my top 3 favorite matches of all time, and that's saying a lot because I hate the way Hogan wrestles.
Yeah, but look at how bad the build-up was for WrestleMania with that. It was a month, right?
Yeah.
They could have done a whole year worth of build-up.
But since WCW's invasion failed, WWF went to Plan B, the brand extension, which was a huge thing.
I still hate it.
I do too.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that everybody's separate because you have these talent exchanges that they have.
But they're not separate. SmackDown is with ECW.
Breaking away from the brand extension and the WWF to WWE name change. June 19th, 2002, the launch of TNA Wrestling, which is now definitely the number 2 company, a distant number 2, but they still are the number 2 company in the world right now.
I think the thing that helped TNA the most was when they got Kurt Angle. I think Kurt Angle is the most selfless main event guy that they have. Sting, is worried about image, but he's going to put people over, I guess, because this is his retirement run.
Well, I mentioned this on Talk Wrestling. For the amount of money that he is paid, and for the amount of money that, compared to what he generates, he's over fucking paid, over fucking rated. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, Angle has been having great matches.
Angle deserves every single dime he gets and then some.
Honestly, I think Booker T needs to retire. He doesn't have any passion.
He doesn't.
I mean, he's working with guys like AJ Styles who bring the best out in people.
WWE saw all these former ECW people that were getting over in TNA, and they went, this looks like a good idea. Why don't we do a reunion show? ECW One Night Stand 2005, which has led now to the revival of what was going to be the original ECW revived, and is now the ECW brand of WWE, which is essentially a fucking C brand, distant third brand.
That's not entirely true.
At first, that's what it was.
That's what they're using to build up the new
The
talent that's not ready.
ECW is the WWE minor league.
That's fine. Take it off TV. Let them develop the characters and then put them on Raw.
Or at least then take like the 3 people on that show that are good enough, like Morrison.
Miz is getting so much better.
I give credit where credit is due. I met the Miz just a couple months after he was really starting to be on TV because he was sucking. He couldn't talk and obviously he couldn't wrestle. And I saw him where I work at iOS, where I perform at iOS. He was at the Improv Olympic taking classes. He was not being booked on house shows because they sent him home to learn how to talk and perform.
And he went to classes.
And he went to classes, and apparently it worked. Because he has gotten less 6 months with Morrison, he has skyrocketed.
At the world famous Andy Dick Theater?
Yes, in the Andy Dick Black Box.
Wow.
That's what it's called.
Look at Lee jump in the conversation. Isn't he cute?
But the other thing was
I'm involved.
Matt Hardy.
And Matt Hardy?
Matt Hardy.
Why is he there? There's no reason for him to be on
to
ECW.
build up the title, because I mean, there's only so much you can do with Mark Henry and Tony Atlas.
I think they could do more with Henry.
I met Tony Atlas, and his arms are bigger than my head, but
the man's a fucking freak of nature. Still,
I think it was good to have Mark Henry have the title.
I
don't understand why Kane.
I think he should still have it.
I don't understand why Kane needed it. He beat
Chavo. Or Chavo.
I think he built Chavo up a little bit.
No, everyone hates Chavo. With all due respect to Chavo, he should retire.
Chavo has no business in the business anymore. I'm sorry. He and Vicky, which are living off Eddie.
Chavo lost it once he lost Pepe.
He did, and that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That was before No DQ was born.
Lost it after he no longer became Lieutenant Loco.
I miss
what about when he
Kurt
lost
White.
his hair and started taking that Rogaine type stuff?
And now has ads on Yahoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen that. That's smart.